If you're over 60, there's one seed you might be eating every day that could be quietly weakening your bones, especially your hips and spine, without you even knowing. I'm a bone doctor, and what I discovered shocked me. No one talks about this seed. It's not sugar, not soda, not smoking. It's something people believe is healthy. But I've seen it lead to fractures, hospital visits, and long recoveries in patients who had no idea they were putting themselves at risk. There's no pain, no warning, just one bad step, and suddenly you're in surgery, in rehab, or using a walker. If you care about staying strong, walking on your own, and keeping your independence, this video might change how you eat forever. Keep watching, because I'll explain everything clearly and simply, and it might just save you from a broken bone. Hi, I'm Doctor, a bone specialist with over 20 years of experience treating broken hips, knees, and spines, mostly in older adults. Every week, I see people come in with painful fractures that change their lives. Many of them were active, eating what they thought was a healthy diet and doing their best. But lately, I've been seeing something strange: people who are eating a certain seed every day, thinking it's good for them, but it's quietly weakening their bones. This isn't something you'll hear about on a food label or in most health blogs, but it's real, and it's happening more often than you'd think. Have you ever worried about breaking a bone as you get older? Type 1 in the comments if yes, or 0 if not yet. Do you take any steps to protect your bones? If bone health matters to you or someone you love, please like this video and subscribe for more real, simple advice. The seed I'm talking about is something you've probably seen in your kitchen or maybe even added to your smoothie this morning. It's small, brown, or golden, and often called a superfood. You might even take pride in using it. I'm talking about flaxseed. Yes, flaxseed. It's known for heart health, digestion, even hormone balance. Many older adults take it daily, thinking they're doing something good for their body. But here's what most people don't know: when eaten in high amounts, especially as ground flax or supplements, flaxseed can quietly interfere with how your body absorbs calcium. And if your bones aren't getting enough calcium, they start to weaken. You won't feel it. There's no pain, no obvious sign. But as you sleep, your body loses more than it replaces. Over time, that can lead to soft, brittle bones, especially in older adults when bone repair is already slower. This small seed can tip the scale towards serious risk. Let me tell you about one patient, a woman who did everything right. She exercised, took her vitamins, drank milk, but she still ended up with a hip fracture because of this one thing she didn't know. Keep watching, because her story might sound a lot like yours. Mrs. Linda Pierce is 68 years old. She's the kind of woman most people would call healthy, a retired teacher, yoga lover, and proud grandmother of 3. She's never smoked, barely drinks, and walks every day. She even teaches a gentle stretch class at her local senior center. She took care of her body and did what most of us would consider everything right. Every morning, Linda made herself a smoothie with fruits, almond milk, and 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. She read that flaxseed was good for her hormones and heart, especially after menopause. She also believed it would help her joints and digestion. For years, this was her routine. Then one evening, Linda got up to grab a glass of water. As she stepped onto the tile floor in her socks, she slipped. It wasn't a big fall, just a quick slide and a bump to her side. But she couldn't get up. Her right leg hurt terribly, and she was rushed to the hospital. The X-ray showed a fractured hip. What surprised me most wasn't the fall, it was what we found afterward. Her blood tests showed low calcium levels. Her DEXA scan, which measures bone density, showed early osteoporosis. This was shocking, especially in someone so active and careful. We started digging into her diet, and that's when I saw the daily flaxseed. What many don't realize is that flaxseed contains phytoestrogens, plant hormones that can affect how your body handles calcium. In some older adults, these can block or confuse the body's calcium absorption. Flaxseed is also rich in ALA, a plant-based omega-3, which is helpful in small amounts but can cause mild inflammation in certain people when taken too much. For Linda, it was the perfect storm: phytoestrogens, slowing calcium use, a bit of inflammation, and bones that quietly got weaker over time. She looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "I thought I was helping my bones, not weakening them." That moment stuck with me, because she's not alone. So many people mean well, but they just don't know what's really going on inside their body. Linda's now recovering, but she has a long road ahead: physical therapy, rehab, and months before she can fully return to her normal life, all because of a seed she trusted. Flaxseed might seem like a tiny food, but it has a strong effect inside the body, especially for older adults. It's packed with something called ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, which is a type of plant-based omega-3. It also has lignans, which are natural plant estrogens. These lignans can act like weak hormones in the body. For some people, especially women after menopause or older men, these plant estrogens can confuse the body's natural balance. When that balance is off, your bones may not absorb or use calcium properly. Another problem is the ALA. In small amounts, Alabama A can be healthy, but in large amounts, some studies show it may cause inflammation or block how your body handles other nutrients. When older adults eat flaxseed every day, especially ground flax, which the body absorbs more easily than whole flax, it can become too much. Your body starts reacting in ways you may not even notice until something goes wrong. There's also something called oxalates, which are found in flax and many other seeds. Oxalates can bind to calcium in your stomach and make it harder for your bones to get the calcium they need. So even if you're eating enough calcium, your body might not be using it. That can slowly lead to weak bones. Now, this doesn't mean flaxseed is bad for everyone. But if you're over 60, have low vitamin D, or already have weaker bones, it can create more harm than good, especially if you eat it often or in large amounts. It's not about fear. It's about knowing what your body needs at your age, and sometimes what helped you before 60 may not help you the same way after. This is more serious than most people realize. Right now, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over the age of 65 will experience what we call a fragility fracture. That means a bone breaks from something as simple as standing up too fast, missing a step, or slipping in the bathroom. These aren't big falls, they're small moments that lead to big problems. And when it's a hip fracture, the risk becomes even higher. Studies show that 30% of seniors who break a hip don't survive the first year. The ones who do often face months of rehab, pain, and sometimes never fully walk the same again. This matters because I've seen it happen to people who try hard to be healthy. They take their calcium supplements, go on walks, eat what they think is a clean diet. But they don't realize the hidden dangers like flaxseed, chia seeds, soy products, or over-the-counter hormone pills. These things seem healthy on the surface, but for older bodies, they can quietly weaken bone structure over time. I remember one man in his 70s, Mr. Collins. He was trying to lower his cholesterol and support his bones. So, he replaced dairy with almond milk and started adding flaxseed to his cereal every morning. He didn't know that almond milk has little calcium unless it's fortified, and flaxseed was blocking some of what he needed. After a few years of this routine, he tripped over his dog's leash and landed in the ER with a broken hip. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right." That's the most heartbreaking part. Most people aren't careless, they're just unaware. They don't know how much the body changes after 60, or how these small habits can add up. That's why I'm speaking up. Because I want you to have the full picture, not just the label on the box. Your bones are your foundation, and once they're damaged, it's a long road back. But if you understand what's really happening, you can protect yourself starting today. There are a few more foods that many older adults use every day, thinking they're healthy, but they may quietly work against your bones. The first is almond milk. It's often seen as a better choice than regular milk, especially for people who are lactose intolerant or following a plant-based diet. But what most people don't realize is that almond milk is high in something called oxalates. These oxalates can block calcium from being absorbed in your gut. On top of that, many almond milks don't have much natural calcium unless it's been added in what's called fortified. And even then, the type of calcium used in those products isn't always easy for your body to use. Another one is spinach smoothies. Spinach is full of nutrients, but it's also very high in oxalates, just like almonds. So if you're drinking green smoothies every day, thinking you're boosting your health, you might actually be stopping your bones from getting the calcium they need, especially if you're over 60 and your digestion isn't as strong as it used to be. Then there's caffeine. If you're drinking a lot of coffee or tea throughout the day, it may be causing more calcium to leave your body through urine. A cup or two a day is usually fine, but more than that, especially without enough water and food, can make things worse over time. And finally, those calcium-rich breakfast cereals. They sound helpful, but most are fortified with synthetic calcium that isn't easily absorbed by your body. Plus, these cereals often come with sugar and additives that don't support overall health. It's not that these foods are evil, it's that your body changes as you age. What worked in your 30s may not work the same way in your 60s or 70s. That's why it's so important to look deeper, read labels, and understand what really helps your bone sand, what only looks healthy on the surface. Have you ever replaced milk with a plant-based alternative? Type M in the comments if you drink milk, A if you drink almond milk, or O if you use something else. Let's see what most people here are using. Mr. Raj is 72 years old. He's the kind of person who tries to do everything right. Every morning he took his calcium supplement, went for a 30-minute walk, and ate what he believed was a heart-healthy breakfast. His favorite meal was a bowl of almond yogurt topped with chia seeds, flaxseed, and a handful of berries. It looked great, tasted good, and seemed like a smart choice. But 2 years later, he came into my clinic with back pain that wouldn't go away. We ran a DEXA scan and found that he had lost over 10% of his bone density since his last test. That's a big drop in a short time. At first, he was confused. How could this happen, he asked. He was taking calcium and exercising, but when we looked deeper, we found the answer hiding in his breakfast. Flax and chia are both high in plant estrogens, and almond-based products are full of oxalates. These can block calcium from being absorbed properly in older adults. So, even though he was eating calcium and taking supplements, his body wasn't using it well. There was something else too. Mr. Raj was on a common blood pressure medication, one that can slowly lower vitamin D levels over time. Without enough vitamin D, the body struggles to pull calcium into the bones. It was a quiet mix of factors foods that seemed healthy, a side effect he didn't notice, and the natural changes that come with age. Then one day, he bent down to tie his shoe and felt a sharp pain in his lower back. A small move caused a vertebral compression, fracture of the most common spine injuries in older adults. It didn't require surgery, but it did mean weeks of pain, a back brace, and physical therapy. Mr. Raj told me, "I didn't know these small things could add up like this." And that's exactly the point. It's not always one big mistake. It's the combination of subtle things that tip the scale in older adults. That's why awareness is so important. Knowing how your body works now, not how it worked 30 years ago, can help you stay strong, balanced, and independent. So now you're probably asking, what should I eat instead? The good news is, you don't need fancy powders or expensive superfoods to protect your bones. Real food, simple food, can do the job if you choose the right ones. Let's start with breakfast. Instead of a flax and almond smoothie, try one soft-boiled egg. It's full of vitamin K2, which helps guide calcium into your bones instead of letting it float around in your blood. Add a small bowl of unsweetened Greek yogurt trick in natural calcium and protein. You can toss in a few berries for taste and antioxidants. For lunch, try a warm bowl of bone broth. It's full of collagen, which supports the structure of your bones and joints. Pair it with steamed broccoli or kale. These veggies are low in oxalates, so the calcium in them is more available to your body. You can even drizzle a little olive oil and sprinkle turmeric or ginger on top. Both are natural anti-inflammatories that support healing. Dinner can be as simple as a piece of grilled salmon or canned sardines with bones. That might sound strange, but those soft bones are full of usable calcium and vitamin D. Just mash them into the fish, you won't even notice them. Add a side of sweet potatoes or cooked greens, and you've got a complete bone-boosting meal. And don't forget to drink water, preferably room temperature, not ice cold. Staying hydrated helps your joints, circulation, and nutrient delivery. You don't need to overthink it. The goal is balanced foods your body knows how to use, without blockers like too much oxalate or fake calcium. If you want a simple one-day bone protective meal plan written out, just type the word PLAN in the comments. I'll be putting together an easy sample you can follow or print out for yourself or a loved one. Remember, your bones are alive. They rebuild every day. What you feed them matters. Now, I want to be clear, not all flax or chia is bad. These seeds do have benefits. They can help with digestion, heart health, and even hormones when used in the right way. The problem is when older adults eat them in large amounts every day without knowing how they might affect their bones. For most people over 60, small amounts are usually safest than 1 teaspoon per day, but only if your vitamin D and calcium levels are where they should be, and you're also getting enough minerals from your food. If you're already low in vitamin D or not eating enough calcium-rich foods, these seeds can block even more of what your body needs. That's when they quietly become harmful, especially over time. And the truth is, most older adults don't know their exact levels because they haven't been tested in a while. So I always tell my patients, if you enjoy seeds, that's okay. Just keep the portion small and always balance it with enough bone-supporting foods. And most important, talk to your doctor before taking any supplement or changing your routine, especially if you're on medications or have low bone density. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Knowing how your body works now and adjusting to that can make all the difference. One small habit can either build you up or slowly wear you down. The power is in your hands once you have the facts. So what should you do now? First, take a good look at your daily routine. What supplements are you taking? What foods are part of your regular meals? Write them down. You might be surprised at how often certain things, like seeds or plant-based products, are showing up without you noticing. That's step 8, a simple audit. Step 2. If you're over 60 and have never had a DEXA scan, it's time to get one. It's a quick, painless test that checks your bone density. It tells you where you stand before something breaks. Don't wait until after a fall to find out your bones are fragile. Step 3. Talk to your doctor. Bring up your calcium and vitamin D levels. Ask if your supplements or eating habits are helping or hurting your bones. If you're using flax or chia often, it's worth checking if it fits your current needs. And finally, focus on the basics: whole foods, daily movement, a little time in the sun to boost natural vitamin D. These simple habits do more for your bones than most pills on the market. If you've ever had a bone density test, type SCAN in the comments. If you've used flax or chia regularly, type SEED. Let's open up the conversation. You're not alone in this, and the more we talk about it, the more people we can help stay strong, mobile, and independent. I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to protect you. You've worked too hard in life to let one small habit take away your strength, your balance, or your freedom. You deserve to walk without fear, to move without pain, and to enjoy every stage of life with confidence. That's why this matters so much. Bones don't break in a single day. They weaken slowly, quietly, over months or even years. And most people never notice until it's too late. But the good news is, just one small change today can prevent one bad fall tomorrow. Swapping one food, checking one label, or having one conversation with your doctor might save you from months in rehab or even save your life. I still remember what one patient told me after a bad fracture. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Doctor, I thought I was healthy. I didn't know food could fool me." That moment never left me. Because it's not about blame, it's about learning what your body needs now, not what it needed years ago. This is your time to take back control, not with fear, but with knowledge, not by giving things up, but by choosing what truly helps you. Let's stop fearing age and start mastering it. You are never too old to grow stronger, wiser, and healthier. And you're not alone. I'm here to help you every step of the way. Stay with me, because your best years aren't behind you. They're still ahead. If you learned something new today, give this video a like. It helps more people find this important information. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly tips on bone strength, healthy aging, and staying independent as you get older. And if you know someone over 60, a friend, a parent, or even a neighbor, please share this video with them. It could make a big difference. Before you go, drop a comment below and tell me, what's one thing you're going to change starting tomorrow? Your diet, your supplements, your routine? I'd love to hear it, and your answer might help someone else too.